All right, welcome back. ACC Football Kickoff in Charlotte. Rob Brown, the Fan Upstate. How are we doing, my friend?
Good, buddy. I don't know if you know this, but if you can trick people into giving you money to come to events like this, do it. It's spectacular. Having a good time. We were at SEC Media Days last week in Atlanta. Went home, slept for 3 hours, repacked the suitcase, and now here we are. But, I mean, we're talking about college football with players and coaches that play and coach college football. How much can I complain and have anybody care?
Yeah, to me, it's like, kiss the wife and say, I'll see you in December. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
mine, when I was packing up to leave yesterday, she said, aren't you tired of this? And I said, I'll tell you what, sweetheart, the day that I say I'm tired of covering college football, watching college football, drinking bourbon at 2 in the morning, watching Pac-12 college football, call the doctor because something's wrong with me.
Yeah, go ahead and put me in assisted living, but still let me have the remote control for the football game.
That's it.
So, Rob, weird day today. Last year I thought was the weirdest thing I'd seen in ACC Football Kickoff with the tension of Clemson and Florida State suing the league. Now Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, had his forum this morning. I'm going to say this. I don't buy anything he's selling when it comes to this league, because the only time you hear from Jim Phillips is his one time a year up here on the dais at ACC Football Kickoff. You know, ACC football fans hate SEC because they get all the berths, right? Well, Greg Sankey is also out there politicking on behalf of the league starting in mid-October, if not the beginning of September.
Well, I think the first thing that you have to realize, and ACC fans don't like this, and I understand it entirely, you are nowhere near the top dog. There is the SEC that's a German Shepherd. You've got the Big Ten, which is a slightly smaller German Shepherd, and then the ACC and the Big 12 are, I mean, they're not chihuahuas, but they're like shih tzus, right? Like they're running around and they're yapping, and they make enough noise to be seen and heard. But at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything. So it's an unfortunate situation. And last year was very awkward because of the lawsuits. Those are now settled, but we all know the reason that they got settled. Florida State and Clemson wanted to ensure that at some point, whether it was this year or in 2031, which it looks like will be the case, that when they pulled together the money, either on their own or because the Big Ten or the SEC said, exit fee is now low enough, we will pay it for you, and we'll just take a little bit out of your conference check every year to cover that and pay it back. They wanted to make sure that they could leave and take their media rights with them, which was not the case under the old grant of rights agreement. On the flip side, the ACC knows that they need to buy themselves some time to figure out how the hell they're going to exist after, inevitably, Clemson, Florida State. I think Miami, probably North Carolina, Duke, and then maybe Virginia, Virginia Tech, possibly, all leave. And you're looking at what the Pac-12 is doing right now just to survive. They're bringing in schools that, you know, we all know who they are, but, like, if I asked you right now to tell me what San Diego State's uniforms look like most fans couldn't tell me, right? You might be able to because you're a diehard, but most people couldn't. And that's what they have to do to try to survive. To me, and I've been saying this for a long time, the inevitable conclusion that we are barreling towards is we're going to have 2 college footballs. There's going to be the SEC and the Big Ten and a mega conference. And there will probably still be the 2 conferences, but they will have some sort of joint agreement of y'all play your thing, we'll play ours. At the end, we'll take our best 4 or 6 or 8 against your best 4 or 6 or 8. We'll match them up and see what happens. And then I think you're going to end up with what I have called for the last few years the EEC, the Everybody Else Conference, which is the cast-offs from the ACC that don't get invited, the Big 12, whoever doesn't get invited, the Pac-12, whatever's left, the Mountain West, all these other smaller but still FCS conferences are going to have to kind of form their own thing. And whether or not there is any interaction between those 2 levels of football, I don't know. I would personally, in like a dream world, I'm a big wrestling fan, in the fantasy booking world, we would call it, we'd have promotion and relegation, right? Like the top 8 teams from the bottom conference move up, the bottom 8 move down. But realistically speaking, no schools are going to sign up for that agreement because you're talking about putting tons of money down the table if you have a bad year. Florida State would get relegated. You think Florida State's going to sign up to do that? No. So at the end of the day, the ACC needed to buy itself some time to figure out what their plan is when they get bailed on by these schools. And these schools needed to know that even if we have to wait 4, 5, 6 more years, when we leave, we can put our games on TV, on Fox or on ESPN and get that money back. And I think that's what that settlement was the best compromise you could figure out where everybody got what they wanted.
Well, see, now if you buy what I'm selling, The ACC in today's world can't exist because how many private schools are in the Big Ten?
A handful.
2.
Oh, is that it? Really?
Yes, Northwestern and
okay.
Southern Cal.
Yep.
All right. How many private schools are in the SEC?
Vandy?
Yep. How many private schools are in the ACC?
More than that.
7.
Yeah.
And it comes down to a limited number of eyeballs, a limited amount of donors, things of that nature. So once this thing started turning college football, into an ego, money-driven thing, the ACC those private schools cannot keep up. But the thing is, they also don't have to disclose any information.
Right.
So that's why Miami can go out there and get a Carson back. They're talking now up to $6 million, $4 million being the baseline. Come on.
So, listen, I think that the overarching conversation for me, and this has been a sticking point to a lot of people listening to my show over the past couple of years, is I have said for a very long time, like, I'm an NFL first guy. I just always have. I grew up with the New Orleans Saints. I've always loved the NFL. I love college football, right? But it's just slightly below to me. And for years, I've heard the argument, college football's better because it's about the pride and the pageantry and the tradition, and all those things are 100% true. But I think that college football fans over the past handful of years have really started to learn that the pride, pageantry, and tradition doesn't matter to the people who wear suits and make decisions. Mm-hmm. There's one thing that matters, and that's the dollar bills, y'all. And this is just a constant, unending quest to find more of them. And while, yes, there is a finite number of dollar bills out there, the TV contracts are getting bigger every year. And if the Big Ten wants to get more money from Fox, they've got to add more product that they can sell, more inventory. This is the same reason why the college football playoffs, I don't care what Sankey and Petiti say, are going to 16 teams, and they're going next year. Because at the end of the day, we're going to add however many more games that is, which is however many more games we can sell, which is however many more commercials we can run, which is however many more millions we can make. So college football fans, I think to some degree, are struggling with the fact that the people at the top do not care if Appalachian State football dies as long as there's more money going into the big hands, right? They do not care if pick your bottom dweller school, Syracuse football, isn't sustainable at a high level anymore as long as the folks at the top are getting their dollars still. And that's just the unfortunate reality about where we are. And there really is, and this is, regardless of where you fall on a political spectrum, the sad thing is if you're a college football fan, whether you're on the left, you're on the right, you're dead center, whatever, there is only one overarching entity that can kind of create a world where maybe it is somewhat sustainable in a fashion that looks similar today, and that's if Congress comes in and Congress enacts federal national standards that every school has to play by. But we also understand, under the way that our federal government is set up, states have the right to push back against federal legislature. And what have we seen? We've already seen Tennessee that filed a lawsuit that basically said, NCAA, you can't enforce your rules. And if and when they say they can, then Tennessee said, great. But the University of Tennessee and Vanderbilt do have to follow our state laws. So they make it a law that Tennessee and Vanderbilt have to do things that are against NCAA guidelines. And I don't know how you combat that. There's no way to do that, because now it's not just the higher-ups in college football, but it's state legislators that are going, we don't give a damn about anybody else. We want Tennessee to be as good as we can.
Right.
And if we got to make rules that say Tennessee must legally violate NCAA guidelines, the NCAA has no power to say, no, that's not okay. There's nothing you can do. So unless Congress gets involved and is able to win a bunch of pushback lawsuits from 50 individual states, I think we're on a path to where college football is going to be the NFL, but with libraries involved.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar libraries. Anyway, all right. Rob Brown, you can find him on X. I still call it Twitter.
So do I.
At The Rob Brown Show. Give people an idea of what's going on at the Fan Upstate right now.
Yeah, man. We're cooking with grease. We were at, like I mentioned earlier, SEC Media Days last week. We are here all 3 days this week. Obviously, as we climb closer to football, we'll ramp up our college football coverage. But my show is 6 to 10 a.m. because I'm a psychopath who does not care about his own health or well-being. So I get up at 3:30 in the morning to talk about football. I'd love to have you guys all there again on X at The Rob Brown Show. You can find the work at The Fan Upstate. We broadcast live on the Odyssey app as well, so if you're a college football fan, you're up that early. And again, my show talks about everything. I'll talk NFL, I'll talk soccer, I'll talk bowling, I'll talk hockey. I'm a big hockey guy. We talk pro wrestling, anything you want, we cover it on the show. But obviously the bread and butter, like everybody else around here, is college football. So we got 30 some odd days until we get to Week 0. Can we stop with week 0? Can we stop with week 0? It's week 1. Can we stop?
I'm 100% with you on that. All right, my best to your lovely wife, Courtney. And listen, if you need anything during the year, just let us know.
Done and done, brother. Look forward to talking again, pal.
All right.
You got it.